Connect first. So last day we have discussed the abstract class and the interface one. Okay, and we have seen this multiple inheritance. So today we'll see their program as well, like how can we achieve this multiple inheritance with the help of interface. Like with the help of class you can't do that. So class is not accepting multiple inheritance concept, but when we'll come to the interface one, interface is so interface with the help of interface we can use multiple inheritance in Java. Okay, so today we'll see the program. So this is our class abstraction. Let me create one new class. Abstraction 5. Okay, so I'm creating this class here. So what we want to discuss, we will discuss here multiple inheritance. So we have class and we have interface, right? So this class doesn't support multiple inheritance. Why? Now we'll see that example first, then we'll go for this interface one. So for example, if I have created one class A, let me add someone. Yeah, so see, I have created one class here, class A. Okay, inside this class I have created one method void m1. Okay, this is a class m1. Okay, now we have one more class. Let me copy this one, B. Okay, and this is m2 method, and this is B class m2. Okay, so we have one class A. Inside this class we have m1 method. Inside this B class, inside this B class we have that same m1 method. Yeah, we have that same m1 method. Okay, but class is different here. Now we have one more class C. So C wants to use both class B and class A property. Okay, like this, class C extends A comma B. They want to extend both A and B class inside C because they want to use both A and B class feature. Got it? So that type of thing you can't do in class. Okay, so in class it is not possible. You can't extend multiple classes at same time. So if you want to use A and B both in C, what you have to do? You have to use multi-level inheritance. What is multi-level inheritance? If we have class A, if we have class B, and if class C wants to use both A and B, then what we have to do? B will do extends A. So now A have all the property of, sorry, B have all the property of A. Now here we'll extend B. So now B have all the property of A and B. So C will use both A, B property. So with the help of multi-level inheritance, we can do that, right? So this is for class 1. So class doesn't support multiple inheritance. Got it? Why? Because see, because of this. we can't extend multiple classes at same time, right? Let me remove this one. Now we'll create interface. So just assume this is interface A. Okay, inside interface A we have one method public void m1. Okay, now I'm creating one more interface, interface B. Okay, so we have two interface, one is interface A, one is interface B. Yeah, so interface A contain m1 method, interface B contain m2 method. Now there is one class, class C. So class C wants to use both interface A and interface B at same time. So if we want to use any interface in our class, what we have to do? We'll implement those methods in our class. So which keyword we have to use if you want to implement your interface? Implements. So class C implements A comma B. See here why it is giving error. Okay, oh, for yeah. So see, we can do like this. We can implement both A and both B at same time. But just before this program, we have seen in comes to class we cannot extend multiple classes at same time, but we can implement multiple interfaces at same time, right? So let me create those two methods. Yeah, so m1 and m2. Got it? Now it is clear now. Why will use multiple inheritance with interface, not with class? Any doubt on this one? Anyone?
No.
Okay. Anup, any doubt?
No.
Okay. So this is the difference, like where we'll use this multiple inheritance. So with the help of interface, we'll achieve this multiple inheritance one. Class doesn't support this multiple inheritance. Got it? Now, yeah. So now last day we have discussed that one, interface and abstract class. So what is pending? Okay. So pending is like the difference between abstract class and interface. Okay. So today we'll see that one. So let me open that. We have created this one. Okay. Oh, yeah. We'll create new one. I have one code. Yeah. So we have opened this one. So today we have discussed like what is the difference between interface and abstract class. So we'll see one by one. Let me divide this into part. One for abstract class, one for interface. first one. So this is your abstract class interface. Okay, now we'll see the first one for this abstract class. First, so when we'll come to abstract class, so it can have both abstract and non-abstract method. Okay, it means if you have created any method and if you have abstract keyword into that, that is abstract method. And if there is no abstract keyword, for example, this is your method, right? Public void m1. So if in that class, abstract class, you have this abstract keyword, so this one is abstract method. If you didn't have any abstract keyword, that is non-abstract method, normal. So you remember static, non-static. So if you have static keyword, it means that method is static method. If you didn't have that static keyword, it means that method is normal method, non-static method. So for non-static and static, the same way, abstract, non-abstract. If you have that abstract keyword, that method is abstract method. If you didn't have that abstract keyword, that method is non-abstract method. So this is the first one. Okay, now what is next? So abstract class. So abstract is what? Class. So sorry, I will open abstract class contain both declaration plus and implementation as well. Okay, so in abstract class we have declaration plus implementation both. Got it? But when we'll come to the interface, in interface we have only declaration, but after Java 8 some feature introduced here, so we can add some
Yeah, your
default
voice is not
implementation
coming.
for that. My voice is not coming. Should I connect to become a wow internet? Wait. हाँ वही नहीं मेरा होटल पर कनेक्ट करो तो मैसेज कर दो कैंसिल कर दो है ना मेन होटल पर से कनेक्ट करो ना ये 1 2 3 4 4 3 2 1 M32 क्यों ऐड है तो अरे तो वो वन प्लस है yeah sorry Arizona now I'm saying again there is some network issue on my side yeah so where we are discussing the difference between abstract class and the interface so abstract class contain both declaration plus implementation right there is one more point that we have to mention start abstract keyword used to create any abstract class okay and what is the next one so abstract class can extend another java class like as you know abstract like any class wants to use other class property they will do what they will extend those class right the same way abstract class can inherit or extend another class property got it and it can implement another interface as well for example if you have any abstract class abstract class abcd okay so this abcd can implement this a as well this a okay and if you have any class for example we have this c class right so they can extend that class as well got it so abstract class can extend any class property and abstract class implement any interface as well got it so that point I mentioned here abstract class can inherit or extend another class property and it can implement another interface as well interfaces as well got it any doubt on this one
No.
No, no.
okay now these are the main point for the abstract class okay now we'll go to the interface one interface so to create interface we'll use which keyword to create will use interface keyword. Okay. Now second one, interface supports what? It supports multiple inheritance. Okay. It supports multiple inheritance. You can, oh sorry, I have again. So you can implement multiple interfaces in your class. So with the help of inheritance, we will do that. Okay. Now interface will not provide the implementation of abstract class, but abstract class can provide implementation of those interfaces, right? So that is also one difference. So inside interface you cannot add implementation of any another abstract class, but in abstract class you can add implementation for any interface. Got it?
Yeah.
Interface can extend another interface as well. Like class will extend in the same the class can extend the property of another class, right? The same way. So here we have interface A, here we have interface B. So we'll do like interface B extends A. So it is also possible. Interface can extend any interface, class can extend any class. Okay. And class, if class wants to implement those methods, those interface method, right, those interface method whatever we declare inside this A or B, so they will use this implements keyword. So to inherit another class or another interface property, we'll use extends keyword, and to implement those interface methods we'll use implements keyword. So that is the difference between extends, implements. Extend means we are extending something from our parent class or interface. Implements means we are implementing something with these two, A or B. Okay. So there is something, there is some functionality, some feature, some behavior inside A and B, we are implementing those part. So that's why we'll use this implements keyword here. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
there is one more topic. So if you are creating any interface and you are declaring some method, okay, so by default all that methods and variable you are getting, it is static and like in inside interface you have static and final variable. I think we haven't discussed that final variable. We'll discuss that one, but we know what is static and non-static we have already discussed, right? So when you are creating any like any methods inside that interface, so by default that method is public. Got it? So if you are creating like we have created this interface, right? This interface A public void m1. Got it? So by default those interfaces are public. The same way in abstract class members like private and protected. So in interface we have public by default, But in abstract class, it can have like private also, protected also, like that. Okay, so that is also the difference. Let me note down that one as well. So interface are, sorry, are public by default. Okay, and interface has only static and final variables. Now what is this final one? Final means, see, we have this abstraction 5 class, right? I have created some int num equal to 100, right? So if we'll add final keyword here, it means now you can't change this num variable value. Now I'm doing what? Num equal to 200. Okay, now see, here we have final int num equal to 100. Okay, now we are doing what? We are like, if we have initialized some value into this num variable, it means now it is final, so we can't change this, like we can't change their value. So that is the use of this final one. To creating any constant value, we'll use this final keyword. So for example, you have seen that static and non-static part, right? So when we'll use this static one, if you want to make that variable as a like for common for all. So there is one company, and that company wants to give the like that company wants to give a 10% hike to all their employee. They will do what? They will create one static variable, and they will add those 10% bonus to all their employee. So that is static data, common for all. But if any value is fixed, so if it is fixed, like always, I have created one salary variable, so always you will get 5,000. It means it is fixed. So in this place, we'll use this final keyword because salary is fixed, 5,000. So that is the use of this final one. Final means it is fixed. So to create any constant value, we'll use this final keyword. Got it? So that is final one. So inside interface, so for example, we have this interface int num equal to 100, right? So by default, if you haven't added any final keyword in this num variable, by default they will add that final internally. You can't change this, well, this num value later. Got it? So that is the use of final keyword. And when you are creating an interface, and inside that interface you are creating any variable, by default their data member type is final. Just remember this one. Okay, we'll add for this abstract class as well. So interface are public by default. Okay, and when we'll come to the abstract part, abstract class part. So abstract class can have, abstract class can have private, protected as well. Okay, and when we are creating any method or any variable in abstract class, so it can have final, non-final, static and non-static both. Got it? So in interface we have static and final, but in abstract class we have non-final non-static as well. As we have seen, abstract class contain both abstract and non-abstract method, right? The same way it contain static, non-static both, final, non-final both. Got it? So that is the difference. So these are the main difference between abstract class and interface. Now I am adding one point here. So after Java 8, so when we got this Java 8, they have introduced one feature in interface. So earlier we have seen we can declare, okay, we can declare like in interface we can declare some methods, but we can't add their implementation in that interface, right? But after Java 8 onwards, we can, like I am creating one method void m2, and I am adding some statement here. This is default implementation. Okay, so in interface we can use default implementation for this m2 method, so we have to add this default keyword here. It means, see, we have this interface, right? Now let me remove the previous code. I will show you how it works. Let me remove this one also. So see, we have created one interface A. M1 didn't have any implementation, but this M2. So we have some implementation for this M2 method. Okay. Now I'm creating one class B. B implements A. A is interface, right? A. Okay. Now we have to implement those methods. See, here we have M1 implementation, right? So this is M1 method. Got it? This is M2 method. Okay. If you see here, we have implemented only M1 here, right? We haven't implemented M2. So Java introduced one feature in interface. If you didn't have any implementation for your method, where in this class where you have implemented this interface, so if you haven't added implementation for any method, so in interface you can add your default code. So if there is no implementation for this m2 in this class, they will do what? They will use this implementation. Okay, let me run this program. Anup, you asked that question, I think yesterday you asked this one, like, right? So how, why will like in the interface we have that default method, some default code, so this is that one. Okay, so if you see here, we have implementation for this m1. We didn't have implementation for m2 method in this class, so I'm adding that implementation here, public void m2. Okay, I'm adding this sysout statement inside that. So this is m2 method. All right, now a equal to new b, a dot m1, a dot m2. This is m2 method default implementation. Okay, now I'm running this program. If you see here, they have printed this is m1 method, it means this one, and now they have printed this is m2 method, it means this one. So because in interface we have these two methods, m1 and m2, and we have their implementation in this class m1 and m2. Now I am doing what? I am commenting this one. Okay, I have commented m2 implementation in this class. Now I am running this program. If you see here, they have executed whatever default implementation we have added to this m2 method, right? See this one, this is m2 method default implementation. So in interface you can add some implementation as well, but this is default implementation. If that implementation is available in this class, it means they will go for this one. If there is no implementation for that method, then they will execute this default one. Got it? Like when it will execute that default implementation, this one, and when it they will execute this m2 implementation. Got the clarity? Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so if you want to add any default implementation in your interface, you have to use this default access modifier here. Default, then your whatever method return type, method name, and your implementation. Always remember this one. Got it? If I'm not adding this public here, it means by default in interface, by default that method access modifier is public. See, we have written this one here. Interface are public by default. So whatever methods you are adding in any interface, by default it is public here. And if you want to add any default implementation for any method, you have to use this default keyword here. Default keyword, and then your braces and your implementation. If you didn't have any m2 implementation in your class, like here, if it is commented, then it will execute this default implementation. And if that code is available, it will come to this line. Then that time it will not execute this one because you have that implementation in your class. Got it? So that is the difference between, like when it will execute the default implementation and when it will execute the main implementation. So this is your main implementation of that m2 method. This is the default one. Now any doubt on this difference, like what is the difference between abstract class and interface? Let me save this one. Yeah, so in interface we have some default implementation as well. If there is no implementation for that method, we can add there for implementation in interface itself. Got it? I'm highlighting this red, so this is the important one. I think all are important, but this is the very important one. Okay, so I'm just saving this one. So this is 25. Okay, so in Opps concept, one topic is there now, that is encapsulation. So what is encapsulation? We close this one. Encapsulation, right? You know this one, right? Capsulation, capsule. So what is capsule? Like if you have any, like like fever or anything, you are taking some capsule for that, right? Like you know about the Bicosol one. So that capsule is covered up by some something, and inside that capsule you have different types of material, like they have added some medicine like different minerals and something into that, then you are eating that one, right? So that is capsule. So you are covering that one with some different vitamins and minerals, right? The same way in an encapsulation in Java, we are doing what? We are wrapping, we are wrapping up some data inside that, and then we are using it. Okay, so that is encapsulation. So wrapping up of like all the data in a single unit, wrapping up all the data together in a single unit. Okay, that is encapsulation. Simple. Okay, so I'm closing that session for today. I have some work. Okay, so tomorrow we'll discuss this encapsulation one and that program as well. Like for the Java security purpose, what we have seen earlier, that abstraction concept, polymorphism one. Now we have this encapsulation. Okay, so tomorrow we'll discuss this encapsulation one. That's it for today. Thank you for joining.
Same thing.